up overhead. Breathe it out. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in. And breathe it out. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Cross your hands over your heart and feel your heartbeat. Feel your breath in your body. Notice the other sensations in your body. And feel that energy.
I can feel it.
You know, we are all made of energy and we know that, but sometimes we forget to feel it, right?
Yeah.
And we forget to connect with it. So I just felt like this Monday morning, I needed a little connecting with my energy, a rerouting of it.
I think you probably connect more than other people doing it in class all the time.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think the cool thing about doing it in class all the time is that you do start to notice it in just like your regular daily life. And you know, when I start to engage in something, I can do a quick little, oh, wait a minute, am I too high? Am I too low? And so, and what I love, the more you tap into the energy, you start to recognize the similarities in the energy wavelengths of different emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so my beating heart, my racing breath, you know, it's the same whether it's really excited and laughing like we were, or really anxious and fearful. It's that same energy. So I can find the energy and then I can start to feel the feelings around it and know that they can all just go.
Yeah, that's nice. And or you can shift those feelings by shifting your energy, which I think is the most magical piece for me.
Yeah. Well, and I, you know, and that's what I love about our work in our children's yoga classes, because we are able to tap into and shift the energy. You know, speaking of shifting, I'm wondering if any of our listeners have had this experience, because I know it's happened to me, where I feel really one level of energy, and maybe I feel really happy and, you know, big in my energy, and I walk into a room where it's not a match, and maybe they're feeling really sluggish, or maybe they're feeling, you know, some other kind of space, and I feel it, you know. And the opposite too, I've gotten into a space where you did this for me earlier today. I was feeling really tired and really kind of lethargic and unfocused, and because you had this really great, clear, positive energy, I was like, I'm with you know. And so you recognize how much the energy of the people around you impacts your own feelings.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the secrets to teaching for me is when I walk into the room, this is when we're there in real, but even online, you can tell what is the energy that the kids have going on. Oh, whoa, it's really big. Maybe I'll start small today, or the opposite.
Right. And they, you know, we're all antennas for energy, but kids are those super high powered antenna. And so they're picking up on each other. But the good news is you're the biggest antenna in the room. So you've got the best chance at rewiring them, at getting them to go in a different direction.
I know when my son was really young, I had to be careful about my reactions to things, because if it was anxious or whatever, he would still get straight up. And it was surprising to me how my quiet emotion could be sucked in by him. So that's fascinating, the way that works.
That really is. And it's once you start to notice it and you start to realize that just a simple breath or one simple movement of the body can shift that. You know, I love it when we work with babies and we go into those early childhood classrooms, and there's this frenetic energy of changing diapers and feeding and everybody moving around, and sometimes lots of crying. Mm-hmm. And I've watched you walk into a room and take a few deep breaths, and everybody turns towards you. You know, you haven't even said anything, and you just have cradled them all in this beautiful, loving space of your breath, and they all start to breathe with you. And then everyone's like, oh, okay.
And I particularly love to teach babies. And I pass out freely in person. I pass out lavender. The teachers are like, give me some. So.
It's always the extra bonus is adding that smell in there.
Yeah, they're like, they're waiting for it. Oh, yes, I'll take it. And I take a shower with it right there. So
That's always an extra treat. But
So what
yeah,
I wanted to make sure we discuss is that you, as a teacher, as a classroom teacher or a yoga teacher, can actually shift the energy on purpose. You can drive the energy of what's happening first by responding to what you see, but also you can create a plan that has a flow that gets the energy up and brings it down and helps the kids learn how to self-regulate. So just talk about that a little bit, Lisa, because I know you know a lot about it.
well, thank you. I love that you brought that up because, it's not enough to just know that the energy is there and know that there are ways to make the energy bigger and smaller, but it's giving the opportunity to play with it in this kind of imaginary or practice space so that we can access those tools later on when it's not so steady, right? And so that's the idea of practicing on and off the yoga mat. You hear that as adults, you hear, take your practice off the mat. What that really means is do enough of it in a steady space of play so that when you have to access it in the moment, it's just a routine part of what you're doing. And that's really the key to self-regulation, is to practice self-regulation when there isn't as much at risk.
That's so brilliant the way you said it. And I explained that to a friend who's having some trouble with her son recently. Like, first of all, yoga doesn't look the same as adults. And second of all, the play and the practice is what makes it magic later.
Right, because if we are pretending to be balloons and we are, working with that nice calm breath, working with activating the parasympathetic nervous system through these balloon breaths, then in the heat of the moment, I don't have to go to a kid and say, calm down or use your breath or, any of this like kind of lecturing sort of approach, which, as adults, we tend to launch into. I just start doing my balloon breaths and they go right into that space. And then they start doing it on their own. And I've seen so many kids that have been able to make that association and to find that tool themselves. And that's the power.
It is amazing. And I guess I'd also like to mention, this is because of my own experience in the classroom teaching yoga. Some kids don't dial it down when you want them to, but that scolding voice doesn't help. Sometimes you just let them run out of the energy, right? Or sometimes if I go into a class, I intentionally do big energy a little bit longer than they want to. And then they're like, ready to come back with me, and we can start from a fun place.
I have an experiment for every adult out there who works with kids to do.
Yay!
So. All right. So take your hands in front of your chest and just start to make your hands go in a circle. And they can go either direction. Yeah. So your hands are going, and sometimes it helps to look at them. They'll kind of move a little bit better. Now, start to speed it up and notice how it feels. Speed it up even more, even more, even more, even more, even more. Now keep it going like this for a little while. Keep it going, keep it going. Now, when you're doing it with kids, they're going to want to count counts before you do. So keep it going beyond, like what Jean was saying. Go beyond what feels sustainable for them. And then when you say slow it down, yeah.
I like to say freeze too, and then
freeze and then change direction.
I do like
and
that.
Go so slow you can't even feel it.
And that's hard for them, but it's a game for them.
And this is self-regulation.
Mm-hmm.
I am regulating the movement of my body, the flow of my breath, what thoughts I respond to, and how I engage the mind-body connection to move in a way that feels good.
I love it. And it's magic. And I know I learned a lot of this from you. So thank you, my friend.
My pleasure. I want to hear back from everybody who gives that a try. We'd love to
I would love that too. Thanks for coming today to Calm Conversations.